Poof, Patty, just like that, 2023 is over,
Crazy.
and
Isn't
we're
that
on
nuts?
to a new year.
I know.
I know it's crazy, and I thought maybe what we'd do this week is talk about what 2024 is going to look for us, and we'll start it in this episode of Travels with Delaney.
The podcast.
Hey, welcome back, everyone. My name's Patrick.
And I'm Patty.
And if you're watching the video version over on the YouTube channel Travels with Delaney, the podcast, we've got Truman
And
joining
he
us.
is a little rough right now.
Yeah,
he's
he's a
roughhousing me.
He's a little wired today. I don't know what the deal is with that.
I don't know.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's
There's a
kinda
reason
crazy.
his dad's called Rough and Ready Rudy, so.
I guess so.
Mhm.
Well, Patty, we're kicking off a brand new year.
Yes, we are.
Which means it's time for another round of This or That.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
So, Patty,
Yes.
it's New Year's Eve.
Yes.
Toast of champagne, the
Yep.
ball's dropping.
Yep.
Do you make New Year's resolutions or don't you?
My answer, this is easy. No.
No.
I don't.
You don't do New Year's resolutions?
No.
Why not?
They put a lot of stress on me. They give me anxiety because usually it's like, you make a resolution and then, you're thinking about it. And then all of a sudden by February you forgot about it. And then you feel like a slug. And so that's what goes through my brain. So, and usually, you're like, oh, I need to eat better. Well, that's all the time. I need to eat better all the time. So
Right.
I just don't do them because, I don't know, they stress me out.
I think people. I think a lot of people do make New Year's.
They
resolutions.
do.
I think a lot of times they revolve around losing weight
Yeah.
or eating healthier.
Right? Because you always think January, that's when they always push all that exercise
Right. I was gonna
equipment.
say fitness.
Uh-huh.
Yep. It could be like career based.
Right.
Resolutions to maybe
Sure.
find a new job or change career paths. But yeah, I'm never really worried about making New Year's resolutions because.
Yeah, because usually January 1, when I go back to school, well, January 8th this year, those are the grunge months.
Yeah.
Because we don't get anything off until spring break. Because usually, around here, snow falls. And
Right.
they always give us President's Day in February. So I don't make resolutions because it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I gotta make it through.
Yeah, I got enough disappointments in my life. I don't need to add 2 or 3 more.
Right.
So no, we're not going to talk about any resolutions
No.
on today's
No,
episode.
no.
But I thought what we would do is kind of talk about what our 2024 looks like in terms of the RV life that we live.
Let's start with the first thing, hun.
What's that?
I think we're gonna keep our goal of trying to be out in that camper once a month.
Yes,
Every
I would
month.
agree. So if you listen to last week's episode, we
Uh-huh.
talked about how every year for the last 4 years, we set a goal to use our RV once a month.
Yep.
All 12 months out
Even
of
in
the
the
year.
winter.
Yep. And the first 3 years we tried it, or 2 years, whatever it was.
Things happen,
Things happened. It couldn't.
like COVID,
like COVID.
or the trailer had to be worked on all January.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
But in 2023, we did
We did
accomplish
it.
that, and it was
Woohoo!
awesome.
Yeah.
I think our biggest. You might say, well, you already accomplished it. Why you want to do it again?
It's
Well,
just
one,
kind of a challenge.
why not?
Why not?
Because we spent big bucks. We want to enjoy it.
And we know we can do it.
We know we can do it. I think the challenge now is the fifth wheel.
Is bigger.
It's bigger and it's harder to get up our driveway.
Yes. So that's the challenge.
And what we found out a few weeks ago, we came home from Thanksgiving. There was snow on the ground.
And not a lot.
And I couldn't back the
Nope.
RV up. So I said, well, we'll just take it straight up and I'll turn it around in the front yard.
Nope.
And what we found out was we do not have enough clearance really
No.
to get turned around.
Nope.
So we had to wait till the snow melted. I backed it down the driveway, out into the road, and then backed it back up.
That worked.
So I think that could be a challenge is, if we head out a good example is
Coming home.
when we get home in a week from Florida,
If there's snow, we know what we need to do now.
we have to just drive it up, park
Straight up.
it, and wait till the snow melts. And so, I think between the time we get home from Florida and when we go back out at the end of February, there should be,
a break.
I hope.
Usually there is.
My
but,
ultimate goal is that we get home from Florida here in a week and we're able to back it up that there will be no snow on the ground.
Right.
But I think that could be a challenge because it's possible that, we can't. And
Right.
if we have a hard winter here.
It may be where it was parked for a long time.
Yeah, so it's possible. We know we're going to get January because it is
That's
now
easy.
January.
Yeah.
We're in Florida in our RV.
And usually by spring break, March, snow is pretty
Yeah, I
gone
feel good about
to get it out then for spring break. It's just
I
that
think
February time.
February's the one, and I think we're going to be okay, but that is something that's a bigger challenge than we've had with our prior two RVs.
Right. Absolutely.
Actually, our prior 4 RV.
4, yeah.
Because the
Tab was no
the
problem.
Tab was no problem. The Lance really wasn't a problem. The Hummingbird wasn't a problem,
No.
nor was that vintage Cruiser that
No.
we had for 9 months.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with you. That is definitely one thing we're going to do is we are going to try to get out an RV once
Absolutely.
a month for
It's fun.
each month.
Yep.
Let's talk about spring break.
Ooh, yes.
I don't know that we haven't really set plans yet,
No.
but I think our plans are being set for us.
I think it's going to revolve around my little side gig that I'm working on here, my little business.
Yeah, so if you didn't listen to last week's episode, we kind of broke the news that
Side hustle.
Patty has started a little side hustle.
Yeah. And is it a hustle?
Yes, and she has gotten into the reselling business.
Yeah, I love thrifting, and so this just seemed like just an easy thing that I could enjoy. Not that it's easy to do, but it's something that I enjoy doing is
Right.
going thrifting and just learning so much. We're learning so much right now, but it's like a whole new learning curve when you go thrifting now when you're trying to resell than when you're buying for yourself. So having a lot of fun with it. You're helping me get the Facebook, Instagram. We're going to try to do something with TikTok, and then you got the eBay store, a little bit's on Poshmark, and then, of course, the YouTube channel,
Right.
Patty Ann Fashion. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
everything is listed under Patty Ann. That's one word.
Yep.
Fashion.
Yep.
And I will put links to hopefully most of that in the show notes. But again, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and then her shops primarily is going to be on eBay to start
Right.
with. You do have a few items listed over at Poshmark, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I think spring break we're going to have to go thrifting
Where the goods are.
because Patty needs inventory.
I do.
And we can only, there's just only so much here. So,
Right.
And so I don't know that we're ready to 100% commit, but I have a feeling we might end up, back in Florida.
Right. We might do what our friend Mark calls as a swing by.
Yeah, we may do like a few days in Hilton Head because last year we did thrifting. Back then we were thrifting for ourselves.
Yeah,
though.
and there was some awesome things that we
Yeah.
found for ourselves.
Yeah.
But if now I know what I'm looking for and we keep learning all these things, learning what trends and what sells and the comp prices and all that,
Yeah.
I think we could find some really cool stuff.
So I think it could be like a couple days in Hilton Head and then 3 or 4 days in Orlando, and with the main focus being thrifting, and still having fun on spring
Right.
break. And then,
Going anywhere warm at spring break is
that's the main thing. I just don't want to go someplace where it's not warm.
Yeah, no.
So, and then I don't know that this is a big secret. I think we have talked about this. I don't know if we ever talked about it on the podcast, but
Yeah.
we do on our YouTube channel. We are partnered up again this summer with Happy Acres Campground,
Right.
Angola, Indiana.
Angie and Kevin,
And
yep.
so we'll be seasonally
They
there.
want us back.
They did want us back. Apparently, we weren't too
Too bad.
hard to deal with.
Too challenging.
And in fact, this year our roles are going to be a little
Yeah, more-
larger, I
yeah.
guess. Partially because last year our main goal was to
Their
help
social
them
media.
help them get their social media really off the ground. We got their YouTube channel going, started making videos, and now I tell you, Angie is
She is just kicking it. She
Oh, my
is
gosh.
rocking it. Her videos are awesome.
yeah.
I keep telling him he was a great teacher.
It's you know what, she surpassed what I do in terms of editing.
And she is just doing an awesome job. They're traveling now, and it just her videos are great.
Yeah, Camp Happy Acres if you
Yeah.
want to check them out on YouTube. And yeah, Patty's right. They have been traveling in their Class B.
Roxy,
And what's great is they're bringing the campground
Yes.
owner's perspective to camping.
right,
And they're also on the hunt for a new RV.
right,
They're keeping Roxy, the Class B.
right. They
but
love her. Yeah,
They need a big RV at the campground,
Right.
so they need a place to live this summer.
right because they had a park model there,
Yeah,
and it was
sold
doing,
that at the end of the season.
right, and they
it
want
was old.
something nicer, bigger. They can be where she can work, and they can hang out and be there, and not have to run to their house all the time. So yeah,
So, but now that Angie's taken over the YouTube channel to where she's doing all her own
Right.
edit, like that won't be much of a, I'll still be there to help
bounce
her,
ideas, I'm
bounce ideas,
sure.
brainstorm. I want to get her doing some other stuff what I haven't even talked to her about, but like TikTok,
Right.
and, just different platforms, different types of content.
Yep.
But because I won't have to do so much of that, they've asked that we kind of help out or take over activities.
Like we're the activity coordinator.
Yeah, she said she'd give us a
Directors.
title. So
The activity gurus.
who was the activity director on the Love Boat? Was that
Wasn't that no?
I
That
don't.
was a bartender. I was thinking Gopher.
No, no.
No, it was a girl.
Isaac was the
It was a
bartender.
girl. It was a girl.
Was it Amy? I don't
Not
know.
her name. Wasn't
Oh.
it the captain's daughter?
Well, Julie.
Julie.
Was
Julie.
yeah. Patty, you're going to be Julie this summer. um, so yeah, and so do that, and then we're also going to be like kind of like managers on duty every
On the Sunday.
Yeah,
Mhm.
except for the 4 weeks that we'll be traveling.
Right.
So they're not holding us hostage, as Angie told me. Because I told Angie when we talked about it, I said, well, we really want to travel for 4 weeks like we did last year. And she's like, well, I'm not holding you hostage.
Right.
So we will still be doing, and we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, otherwise, though, because we're always there on Sundays, because we just live there once the
Right.
campground opens.
Right.
And so every Sunday, because Kevin's brother Matt is working. He comes down on Thursday nights,
Right.
and he's like manager on duty Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
And they head home
and
on
then
Sunday
yeah,
back to
and
Michigan.
then Sunday
Mhm.
Matt heads home, and so we'll take over on Sunday afternoon and kind of be in charge until Monday morning
Right.
when Angie and Kevin show up, and then
Correct.
they'll be like the quote managers on duty typically on Mondays, Tuesdays,
And
and
Wednesdays,
Wednesdays.
yep.
Yeah. So trying to spread that out so that Angie and Kevin aren't there 7 days a
Yeah, I
week.
think they just need a little break, like anything. You need some, like I don't work every day of the week. It's nice to have a little break.
And
so.
and I think Angie figured I couldn't screw up too bad for 1 day a week. So like,
I think
like
we
how
could do
much
the don-
damage can
I think
I
we could
do?
do the donut order and.
Well, we don't have to do the donut because
Oh.
remember Matt's there on Sunday
Oh,
morning.
that's right.
We take over at about noon,
That's right.
and so and Sundays is like the slowest day at the
I
campground.
guess we just make sure if there's people have issues.
Yeah,
like with their,
we go out, we pick
Mhm.
up trash, we keep the bathrooms clean. We if somebody has an
Yeah.
issue, we're like the point of contact. and-
Nice.
And so so we'll be doing that. During the spring and the summer months. Obviously, Angie, we've told Angie like on Monday mornings we have to go to work, and so and she understands that. So we'll be like Sunday afternoons to early
Right.
Monday morning. Like I think
Right.
we usually head out about 7 a.m. and
Right.
then,
Mhm.
But then during the summer, Angie and Kevin won't really have to come in till
Right.
late or maybe not at all. So
Right.
so that's kind of a change, and this is a good chance for us to see if maybe down the road we want to be camp hosts.
Well, because we hung out and we were there, but now we're going to do a little bit more with it, and
Yeah,
we'll
we're good-
see,
yeah.
kind of put our little toes in there in the water, per se, and
testing out the
testing
water.
the water a
Yeah,
little bit
as they
more.
say, as the kids say. I don't know if they actually say
I don't know if
that.
the kids say anything
okay.
anymore.
Um, and then
Except us.
yeah. And then, a couple things that people have been asking us about is, number one, are you doing campouts this year? And the answer is one.
We're gonna do one.
One camp out at Happy Acres.
The fall was so nice.
Yeah, so it's a fall camp
Yeah.
out. The thing is, in terms of holding campouts at Happy Acres, we're there basically all the time except for those 4 weeks when we're traveling. And so we just had a lot of people would stop by and say hi on the weekends. And
Well, we kind of just learned last summer that we don't really need a camp out per se.
right.
That Angie has so many cool activities and things going on that when people show up, we're helping that anyway. And then people
Right.
come and visit and they get the music and the food or whatever. It's kind of like a camp out.
I mean,
so-
Cinco de Mayo was
Oh, it's
basically like a
awesome.
Travels with Delaney camp out, but it was never advertised that way.
Mm-mm.
But so many people who came to Cinco
Right.
de Mayo weekend last year, and I believe it's sold out already for next year.
I think so.
And
Yeah.
but it ends up being a lot
Right.
of you guys that follow our YouTube channel, and so but we are doing an official Travels with Delaney
The
camp out
fall.
in the fall.
Mhm.
I will I know there's a date on it. I just don't know the date
Yeah, we
off
need
the
to
top of my head.
work out some kinky
Yeah, yeah.
things and get it all
But we'll
squared
get
away.
that
Mhm.
squared away. And then the other question is what's your travel plans for those 4 weeks you're heading out?
Well, last summer Truman really threw a fit. He
He
liked
did.
going to Maine and being with Colonel Woody and Aunt Priscilla, but he wanted to go west. He has some friends out west that he
He
wants to
does have
see.
some friends. So we have not booked anything official.
No.
So please understand things are
And
always
Truman's our
subject to
dog.
change. But our plan is we have not been west since 2020.
And we have so many neat
We have so many
people.
friends out
Yeah.
that way. And so our hope is to probably early June,
Mhm.
we will make our way out west. We will rendezvous, I believe,
Rendezvous.
with
Ooh,
Colonel Woody and
fancy.
Aunt Priscilla.
Yeah.
And spend, for us, it'll probably take us about 3 to 4 days to get out
Yes,
west.
it will.
And then we'll have to allocate 3 to 4 days to get home. So really, we'll be out there for about 3 weeks, showing them some of our favorite areas,
Uh-huh.
and then probably having an informal
gathering,
gathering of
come
friends.
hang with us.
Yeah,
Hmm.
and because I know we have not got to see Jeff and Shelley
Yeah,
in a lot of years,
right.
Kevin
And
and Karen
Karen
Budge,
Budge. Yeah.
and I know I'm going to leave names
Oh
out.
my
I mean,
gosh, there's so many
there's so
folks.
many, but so I think we'll probably
April and
organize. I
Tommy.
don't think we'll do a quote camp out. Like I think
Right.
we'll probably just say, hey, we're going to be at this
If you
campground
want to
for a week. If you
come
want to come hang
hang
out
out
for a
with
few
us,
days,
yeah, you're welcome
and
to. Hmm.
yeah,
Right,
so
buddy?
and when we say west, if you're like, well, what does that even mean?
Well, for us, it's anything past
Yeah,
Illinois.
yeah, anything past Illinois. No, I think we're probably going to take Woody and Priscilla to Yellowstone,
Yellowstone.
Tetons, maybe Glacier.
Yeah, up in that
Up in
area.
that area.
Hmm.
I haven't been to a Murdoch's in a long time.
Oh, Murdoch.
You forgot about
I
Murdoch's, didn't you?
love Murdoch's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to go. All right, I'm in.
So, and then all the while all this is going on, Patty's going to want to hit thrift stores.
I am. I need to build up my merchandise, and we're starting to think about how to organize. And we got our organization down. Patrick's been great. He's been helping me with school going on still and getting things set up. And we got cart, and we got a display, and we figured out how to take photos. And yeah, and then the studio is now slash.
Inventory /
What do they call that when you have a business like the tower, like the
Oh,
Petty and
this,
Fashion Corporation?
yeah, this is your corporate tower,
Yeah,
corporate office. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I guess I'm the CEO and you're the CFO.
maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I don't know. I was telling our friend Carrie Balbarona, who's been helping us get this
Yes,
thing going,
thank you, Carrie.
because she also has an eBay store.
Very successful. Yeah.
K Bar
Ranch.
I
Yep,
believe,
yep.
on eBay. But I told Carrie the other day, I said, Patty started a business and I ended up with a part-time job. So I don't know.
Sorry, school's going on. It's hard.
I think the challenge and
It's just learning all the parts of how to list something.
yeah, there's that and the shipping. But
Go ahead.
well, I was just gonna say, I think the challenge is how do we run this when we're gone for 4 weeks?
I know we talked about this yesterday.
Yeah, I mean that's we may, who knows? That's something we haven't figured out yet,
Well, I know Carrie put some of her stuff like on vacation.
and we may have
We
to.
may have to do that.
But then you lose sales during
Right.
that time. I will say I told Patty yesterday we probably should have bought a toy hauler, and I'm being serious because had I known she wanted to do this with
It
a
was not
toy
even
hauler, we
in-
could have taken our inventory in the garage
Right.
and done it. And if we're gonna, we're talking about looking at doing some part-time. I hate to use the word full-time, although it might be full-time RVing in the
Right.
future. And if you want to keep the business going, so I don't know. We're either going to have to get like a utility trailer if we do that down the road. I'm not talking this summer,
No, it's going to be a
but
little bit.
like a utility trailer that we could put all the inventory in and haul with us, or we may actually someday look to a toy hauler just to be able to keep the business with us. So I don't know. So
It's all part of the process.
that's
Clark.
right. So 2024 going to be exciting.
It is.
Patty's business is going to
Yes.
flourish. We're
Something
going
to be excited about.
our
Woohoo.
friendship with Happy Acres.
Yes.
And just all kinds of great things going
Yep.
on. So,
Yep. All
well,
good.
I would love to hear in the comment section what your plans are for 2024. Do you have any big travel plans? You thinking about a new RV? Maybe are you getting ready to retire? Let us know if you can drop it
Absolutely.
in the comment section. We'd love to hear that.
Right.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Travels with Delaney, the podcast. And we look forward to seeing you next week. And until then, we'll see ya.
On down the road.
Bye.
Travels with Delaney. We'll see you on down the road.